The Story of the Three Bears. Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage deep in the forest, there lived three bears. There was Papa Bear, who was very big and strong, Mama Bear, who was medium-sized and gentle, and Baby Bear, who was very small and playful. They loved each other very much and took great care of their lovely home. Every morning, they started their day with a delicious bowl of porridge made by Mama Bear. One fine morning, Mama Bear made a big pot of porridge for breakfast. The warm aroma filled the air as the bears sat down at their table. "It's too hot to eat right now," said Papa Bear. "Let's take a walk in the forest while it cools down." The three bears put on their hats and went for a stroll through the lush green forest, leaving their cozy cottage behind. Meanwhile, a little girl named Goldilocks was wandering through the forest. Goldilocks was a curious girl with golden hair that shone like the sun. As she walked, she sang little songs and picked flowers. Suddenly, she noticed the bear's charming cottage hidden among the trees. The door was slightly ajar, and Goldilocks, being very curious, couldn't resist taking a peek inside. "Hello? Is anyone home?" Goldilocks called softly, but there was no answer. Feeling a little braver, she gently pushed the door open and stepped inside. The first thing Goldilocks saw was the table set with 3 bowls of porridge. Her tummy rumbled with hunger. She decided to taste the porridge. She took a spoonful from Papa Bear's big bowl. "Ouch, this porridge is too hot," she cried, quickly pulling the spoon away from her mouth. Then she tried a spoonful from Mama Bear's medium-sized bowl. "Yuck, this porridge is too cold," she said, scrunching up her nose. Finally, she took a spoonful from Baby Bear's small bowl. This porridge is just right," she said with a smile, and she ate it all up until the bowl was empty. After finishing the porridge, Goldilocks felt a bit tired and wanted to sit down. She saw 3 chairs in the living room. First, she sat in Papa Bear's big chair. "Oh no, this chair is too hard," she said, fidgeting uncomfortably. Then she sat in Mama Bear's medium-sized chair. "Oh dear, this chair is too soft," she sighed, sinking deep into the cushions. Finally, she sat in Baby Bear's small chair. "Ah, this chair is just right," she said happily. But as Goldilocks settled into the small chair, it creaked and groaned under her weight until it broke into pieces with a loud crash. Feeling even more tired now, Goldilocks decided to go upstairs and look for a place to rest. She found 3 beds in the bedroom. First, she lay down on Papa Bear's big bed. "This bed is too hard," she said, turning from side to side. Then she lay down on Mama Bear's medium-sized bed. "This bed is too soft," she sighed, sinking into the fluffy mattress. Finally, she lay down on Baby Bear's small bed. "Ah, this bed is just right," she said with a yawn, and soon she fell fast asleep, snuggled under the warm covers. Just then, the 3 bears came back from their walk. They were looking forward to their breakfast. But when they got inside, they saw that someone had been eating their porridge. "Someone's been eating my porridge," growled Papa Bear in his deep voice. "Someone's been eating my porridge too," said Mama Bear with concern. "Someone's been eating my porridge, and it's all gone," cried Baby Bear, looking sadly at his empty bowl. The bears went into the living room to find more clues. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," grumbled Papa Bear, noticing the marks on his big chair. "Someone's been sitting in my chair too," said Mama Bear, straightening the cushions. "Someone's been sitting in my chair, and it's broken," wept Baby Bear, staring at the pieces of his little chair scattered on the floor. The bears were very puzzled and went upstairs to check their bedroom. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," rumbled Papa Bear, seeing the crumpled sheets. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed too," said Mama Bear, noticing the dent in her pillow. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and she's still there," exclaimed Baby Bear, pointing at Goldilocks, who was still sound asleep in his small bed. Goldilocks woke up with a start and saw the 3 bears standing around her. She was so scared that she jumped out of bed, ran down the stairs, and dashed out of the cottage as fast as her legs could carry her. She ran through the forest all the way back to her own home, and she never returned to the bears' cottage again. From that day on, Goldilocks learned to always respect other people's things and to never go into someone else's house without permission. Moral of the story: this story teaches us that we should always respect other people's property and not use things that don't belong to us without asking. Goldilocks learned that going into the bear's house and using their things without permission was not a good choice. This story teaches you the importance of being considerate and respectful of others' belongings.